Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
The reporter never got to finish his question, but he didn't have to Angel Ree in just 2 words explain the current state of the WNBA and its relationship with Caitlin Clark, and that relationship has just taken a big turn. Let me explain Caitlin. Clark's impact on the WNBA has been undeniable. Millions of new fans, sold-out arenas, and record-breaking viewership. But what's also undeniable is the league's collective fumble of their golden opportunity. Instead of embracing the Caitlin Clark effect, many within the league pushed back. They questioned the hype.
The WNBA last year, bless their hearts, finally got a star. And they didn't know that. They couldn't figure it out. Well, we don't want to put too much Caitlin Clark on. Nope, every game. More Caitlin Clark all the time, always. Caitlin Clark is easily the most influential athlete in a team sport since Michael Jordan.
The success, the mainstream breakthrough, the headlines, the hype, the packed arenas. It was everything the WNBA had dreamed of for decades. They finally had the moment. The player, the spotlight, the cultural breakthrough. They're on the cusp of real money, respectable salaries, and global attention. But the catch, it was Caitlin Clark leading the way, and for many WNBA players, this wasn't a celebration. It was a funeral.
Caitlin's coming. There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
By this point, last season, Caitlin Clark was already living rentrée in the minds of half the WNBA. She hadn't just arrived, she detonated tripled viewership, sold out NBA arenas, jersey sales through the roof. Every Fever game became a must-see event, with fans lining up for hours and scalpers charging playoff prices for regular season tickets. By this time last season, Caitlin Clark wasn't just on the scene, she had completely taken it over. She didn't arrive quietly.
Season. Clark, hammer. 3 Sky players coming over. Here's Clark for 29 points, gets tripped up.
Is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
But that's crazy. The jealousy started before Caitlin Clark ever laced up a pair of pro sneakers. The hype around her was nothing short of generational. She had just broken the NCAA all-time scoring record, men's and women's. She carried Iowa to back-to-back national championship games, sold out every arena she touched.
The structure of the way media plays out race. So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover?
One thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her. Little girls with their parents and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, but she was a white girl from the middle of America.
If Caitlin had just come in and flopped, even just been average, the old guard would have had their "I told you so" moment. The narrative would have written itself. College is college, but the WNBA is a different beast. You don't just waltz in and dominate.
The women who built this league, the hype would have cooled, the media attention would have shifted, and the old guard vindicated. But that's not what happened. Her first game brought in 1 million viewers, the most watched.
While Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA, there are women that were worthy of coverage prior to her arriving, and I just will not be silenced when it comes to that.
Now that it was clear Caitlin's pull wasn't going to stop, no matter how many eye rolls or media critiques came her way, the next step was damage control. Not off the court on it. The league, whether consciously or not, started pushing back between the lines. Players took liberties, hard screens, off-ball, hits, unnecessary contact. And what did the refs do? Pocketed their whistles. It became a pattern. Let her get hit. Let her get frustrated.
And for the first time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC on Saturday, June 7th, and on Sunday, July 27th.
They knew better than to go after Caitlin directly, because that would backfire. So instead, they went after everything around her. They attacked the fans. They blamed the media. According to them, Caitlin wasn't the problem. Everyone else was. She was getting privilege treatment. Her fans were not real WNBA fans. The narrative, if you liked. Caitlin Clark, it must be because of her skin color. Never mind that she was leading the league in assists as a rookie.
Average reported ticket price was $650. Now, if you do the math here and you do 15,000 people times $650, that is almost $9.75 million just for a WNBA preseason game.
It's the classic propaganda playbook. Repeat the lie enough, shout it loud enough, and eventually people stop questioning it. And now we've got a chunk of the basketball world actually believing Caitlin Clark isn't talented. She's just lucky. But if they were expecting the Caitlin Clark effect to simmer down because of this narrative, man, were they wrong, one by one.
Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else.
Caitlin Clark a problem, bro.
Yeah, she that.
I just think about my rookie year and I think about how I came into the league and I'm like, bro, it was such a crazy transition for me to just understand what it's like to play at the pro level. And it's like this girl coming in as a rookie and going she broke the record for assists. I don't think people really understand how crazy that is to do as a rookie, your first year doing this. But that's another episode. Shout out to Caitlin, bro.
First, it was the arena. Upgrades games were being moved just for her. Not for league parity, not for playoff implications, not for all stars. For Caitlin Clark, teams that typically played in smaller gyms were suddenly booking NBA arenas because they had to. The demand wasn't optional. If Caitlin was coming to town, you needed more seats. Then came the broadcast schedule out of the Indiana Fever's 44 regular season games.
Plays that she was making still, despite all that, was insane. But people were so caught up in the logo threes and the 23-point attempts per game, which absolutely I understand that. It was so much fun to watch. But I always said she could potentially be one of the best point guards to ever play in the WNBA.
And the average reported ticket price was $650 now. If you do the math here and you do 15,000 people times $650, that is almost $9. $75 million just for a WNBA preseason game. At that point, the Caitlin Clark effect couldn't be brushed aside. It wasn't hype. It wasn't marketing spin. It was next level, math money and momentum for many players. Reality hit in a different way. Their own teams weren't building around them. They were banking on Caitlin promotions, were tied to the Fever's visit ticket. Sales jumped only when she was in town. The broadcasters knew it. The sponsors knew it. The fans definitely knew it, and somewhere amid the sold-out arenas, the marketing blitz and the shift in league energy, something started to settle in acceptance. And with that, the players started talking. The average reported ticket price, $650.